Okay, everybody, it is 3:03, and I'll call the Citizens Advisory Committee meeting for Community Development to order. This is the third public hearing. We have 4 members in attendance: Mr. Rafe Buckner, Mr. Titus Willis, Mr. Bruce Haupt, and Mr. Bobby McCormick. Thank you for being here today. Our first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from February 26, 2025, and the April 16th, 2025 Citizens Advisory Committee meetings. I will entertain a motion to approve those. Not everybody at once. All right. A second? All right. Hey, guys, make sure you turn your microphones on if you don't mind. Thank you. All in favor of approval indicate by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, so we now have an open public forum. I have a short presentation that I'll go through to kind of give you an idea of what the plan involves. It's very repetitive. You've heard this before. Thanks to our citizen volunteers, of course, the Citizens Advisory Committee for Community Development, which is the formal board that approves these plans so we can submit them to HUD, and then the Monarch NRSA advisory team. They've met and heard public comment, of course, and then comment from me and my staff about the plans. So the next NRSA we'll be moving into is the Monarch NRSA, and that will take place in July. We are moving out of the Northwest or Riverview NRSA, and this new NRSA will take place from 2025 to 2029. It is a 5-year plan, and terms and acronyms that we use in the plan, I won't go over all of these, but these are repetitive throughout the document, and that can be found at owensboro.org under the Community Development tab. And we will continue to take public comment until we submit the plan. We have not gotten our allocation from HUD as of yet, but it's still in limbo. We should be hearing something soon, hopefully. A consolidated plan is the tool for assessing affordable housing and development needs within the community. It's generally used to program our community development block grant and our home partnership grant. We do not receive ESG grants or any other grants, entitlement grants for the plans. It's obviously heavily community involved. We get public comment to make sure that we understand the wants and needs of our citizens, and it is also data driven. So we have a 2-pronged approach to make sure that everything matches up as what we're seeing on the streets, is what we're actually seeing in the economy. Our plan, of course, is 5 years, and it's supported by the annual action plan every year. The structure of the plan, of course, you'll see summary, our public engagement, our needs assessment, a market assessment, strategies and goals, and of course the annual action plan is inserted at the back of the document when we submit that to HUD. Engagement, we've had 1 advisory group meeting, 2 pre-proposal public hearings, of course consultations with developers, service providers, health services. The plan will be distributed to all our social service agencies, and has been actually after we get it done. So an NRSA designation is one that HUD uses to address economic development and housing needs within economically disadvantaged communities. A municipality must file an application in conjunction with their consolidated plan as part of the overarching community development block grant program. And we have that, like I said, at owensboro.org, both our consolidated plan and which is the annual action plan can be found in that, and we do have the Monarch NRSA document as well. In order to be approved, the NRSA must be a contiguous area primarily zoned for residential use. That is the Monarch NRSA falls within that designation, and then it must meet a certain level of low to moderate income. And speaking of that, these are the 2025 income limits, and just to give you an idea, when all of our programming runs off of these income limits, persons in a family, you'll see a 4-person household income. The median income is $86,200, and to qualify for programming, a family of 4 cannot make more than $68,950. So those are HUD limits. We do not have anything to do with those determinations, but we do use this chart as our Bible. The purpose of the plan is to increase home ownership, promote economic growth, preserve unique characteristics of the neighborhood, and address housing affordability and community safety. This is the proposed boundary for the Monarch NRSA, and you can see it's loosely bounded by the north side of 9th Street on the south, Clay Street on the west, the municipal boundaries on the north. To the east side of the boundary over there is the municipal boundaries as well, and that is what we'll be submitting to HUD. Key findings. I've highlighted some of the terms or the stats that we'll be using within the document, but basically it delineates that we have about 2,000 residents, and 60% of those people are classified as low to moderate income, which is important in submitting our determination to HUD to say that at least 51% of the folks in that area are low to moderate income. Median household income within that area is $36,525, and that was in 2023. That's when our market needs analysis was completed. And that is, we do have to do a market analysis to make sure that we're able to build homes in that area. And 34.2% of all residents live below poverty levels. So as part of the plan, we also do an inventory of all the property in the area. And as you can see, over 72% of the parcels require some kind of rehabilitation or have some kind of safety issues or structural issues. And 167 properties reported maintenance issues within the past 3 years. Age of structures, there is a good housing stock over there, and that's why we're going to invest in rehabilitation of those structures over there. But the majority of them were built before 1970, and as you can guess, quite a few of them need some repairs. So we also look at the housing need, and not just within that area, but within Davis County, the city of Owensboro, and then within the Monarch NRSA. So citywide, this was in 2023, which is probably increased at this point, but 224 units were needed, primarily for households earning less than 30% of the area median income, and we can revisit that, what that number is, but it's a pretty low number for a household to afford housing, so that's something we want to address as well with this plan. Cost burden citywide, this is a pretty big number. 62% of renters are cost burdened, spending more than 30% of their income on housing. That's a pretty astounding number that we want to take into consideration and take seriously, because if you have to choose between your medical costs or where you're going to live, it's a pretty big decision that you have to make. So making affordable housing more widely available in the city is definitely one of our priorities. 47% of renters are severely cost burdened, spending over 50% of their income on housing. Let's see. Stakeholder priorities, public feedback, and housing preferences. 90% of the folks that we talked to talked about a demand for affordable rental housing. So it's something that we will work on within the area with local developers. There is a strong preference for homes priced between $150,000 and $200,000, which we're going to try to address that with our partnership with Habitat for Humanity. They're going to be our CHODO, our Community Housing Development Organization. And of course, address rent affordability, substandard housing, and limited housing availability with this plan. So through the plan, our proposed initiatives include rehabilitation of existing structures with our EXO program, new construction focused on affordability with rental units priced under $750 a month, so that's under market rate, and homes under $127,000. Economic development, of course, there's a commercial component to the area that we're in, and then heavily on 4th Street, so we'll provide grants and technical support for small businesses and try to foster mixed-use projects within that area. We will also be working with RWRA to shore up some septic issues that people have not connected to the combined sewer. And so what we'll do is try to extend those pipelines to the, I think, 12 or 13 homes that exist in that area that still have septic on their property. And then, of course, remove the septic. And, of course, look at accessibility through sidewalks, OMU, street lighting, things of that nature. And then, of course, our down payment assistance will focus heavily on first-time homebuyer education, financial literacy, and of course that 10% that we provide for down payment assistance and closing costs. Outcomes, of course, everything's driven by HUD through outcomes, and we report those annually through our CAPER. And that is to increase home ownership, of course, create sustainability in our economic development sector, and then community safety, of course, and through those programming, sustainability for that community. So this is our draft budget. We, of course, like I said, did not get our allocation. So once we have that, we cannot submit our plans until we have our allocations. But you can see we take administration for both the home and CDBG programs. We will do exterior rehabilitation, about 53 projects over the course of 5 years, maybe more. Of course, we're working with downspout removal with the RWA again, and they'll be doing smoke testing to see what houses are still connected through those downspouts. And then our public service project, which will be the septic removal, and our commercial facade grants, which will be hopefully around 22 of those, producing a little bit of private match. So there will be some skin in the game for those folks. In our home budget, we have our community housing development organization, which we have one budgeted, but I'm still working with those numbers with Habitat to find out how many we can actually churn out with what they produce. So that number will change. And then our down payment assistance program, of course, 30 projects for $450,000. So basically, let's see, I'll skip here. You've got your stats on the right-hand side, and of course we'll go back and look at all the PBA information that we've used to create these baselines. But at the end of this, we should have public investment total of $4.2 million and a private investment of $5 million, hopefully a little bit more, and a total investment of $9.3 million, and that's just on the federal side with those grants. Now we do have a community catalyst grant program. They're all local grants, and they have a little less red tape for developers, so we'll do a single-family rental rehab again. These are all 100% matching. Single-family new build, single-family rehab, and the 50/50 demo grant program. And I've already had a few people call about signing up for those as well, and the EXO, so there's already interest. So here we are, May 8th, third public hearing to approve the plans, and then we will ask City Commission to approve a municipal order for the consolidated plan and the annual action plan, and then hopefully around May 23rd submit that to HUD pending allocation announcement. Any questions? No. Lively group. I know you've heard this 3 times already, so. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Evan for his help and support in putting these plans together. He's been instrumental in going through and looking and finding my errors so other people don't find them, so I appreciate that. Any conversation, discussion, or changes, additions? Anything from the public? No? No? All right, that being said, I will entertain a motion to approve the 2025-2026 annual action plan and the 2025-2029 consolidated plan.
Motion.
Thank you, Bruce. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Any discussion? All in favor of approval indicate by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Does anybody else have anything to add? No? Quick and easy? All right. Well, I appreciate your time and, of course, your service. I know you guys are busy in the community and with your jobs, and just to be able to come and interact with you time to time is good, and to see your faces. And I'll probably see you sometime next fiscal year. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Rafe. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Bruce. Have a good night.